Hi, we are live. That's right. Doc Martin for KRAZ TV. This is the adult side. Yeah. When I get done with this, you'll know why. Anyways, it's called The World's Fastest Man. The Extraordinary Life of Cyclist Major Taylor, America's first black sports hero. He sure was. What an extraordinary individual. His name was Marshall Walter Taylor. And in the turn of the century, 1898, 1900s, all that. This poor old guy, he is such an athlete. He never drank or smoked. He didn't like racing on Sunday, almost never did, except towards the end of life. But he caught so much flack from Jim Crow and other white, just dumbasses. That's what I got to say they were, you know? And they just couldn't let him be. They just hounded him, hounded him, hounded him. But they'd try to trick him and put him into little groups where he had to bolt ahead and stuff. He won by so many extraordinary lengths that they were just livid. But he was more well received over in France, and then he didn't think he'd do too good in Australia, but he did go over there, and they did like him. Of course, every time he went back, of course, they'd already sour, but that's just because he'd beat the top guys in France and stuff, and they were big in cycling way back. So he just had, but he had a mentor called Bertie Munger, or Munger was his name. He was a white guy, I guess, and he had big money, and he was a promoter and all this stuff. So he was really uh, uh, helped him out in a lot of ways, and that's what really got him going. So, anyways, I'm saying support us at I got to put in HTT or HTTP because it won't do it unless I put all that in there. So, anyways, uh, we got this book at the Tucson Pima County Public Library. The end of the 19th century, the promise of equality had failed spectacularly. Jim Crow laws enacted in the South enforced segregation and allowed racial injustice and discrimination to flourish in America. Well, that's true, and I don't know how much it's really changed. Micheal Kranish is an investigative political reporter for the Washington Post, and he's a wonderful man. It says the world's fastest man shines a light on a gateway to the 20th century, a dramatic moment in American history just before the arrival of the automobile when bicycles were king. The populace swelled with immigrants and enormous social changes loomed. So it's a real eye opener. Got some nice plates. He married a beautiful woman, Daisy, and they had a baby named Sydney. She lived off almost, I think, about 100 years old. So they were all doing something. They lived very well, and it's just amazing, amazing story. So you know, there you can flourish in all sorts of adversities. And they tried to hurt him. He did get hurt a couple of times. So, anyways, I just love the book though. They had a lot of innovations. They did tires. Uh, It says Birdie takes flight. Louis D. Franklin Munger, a lean, blonde, 17-year-old living, boarded a horse-drawn streetcar and joined the masses on the way. Half of Detroit's people, of 116 residents, were Germans. So he rushed to a blind and sash company. And so, wow. I guess he was into bicycling himself, but he met Major or Marshall Taylor, and so sometimes he had to sneak in, and he paid for his promotion and stuff like that. So they let the black man, work. But boy, were they surprised! And he really trained diligently. He actually came up with a lot of guidelines that are still used by modern cyclists today. So what a sweet guy he was, and he tried to keep his temper best as he could, and I think he did a good job. But he had a hard time with Jim Crow, and so thank God, folks, that it's a little better than it has been. The world's fastest man. That's right. The Extraordinary Life of Cyclist, Major Taylor, America's first black sports hero, by Micheal Kranish. I hope someday I get to meet him. And guys, don't let anything get you down. Keep racing. Thanks for watching, and support us at kraztv.com. And go to your library like we did for this book. Bye.